On behalf of the Avot Yeshurun Congregation Board of Trustees and the Cemetery Committee, we are pleased that you have gathered with a small group of friends and family to recall the memories of your loved ones. While we cannot be together as a community this year, we have provided a guided recording of the Kever Avot program for use at home or at the cemetery. This program can be used anytime you visit. May the memory of your loved ones always be a blessing to you.
This is Rabbi Harold Kravitz of Avot Yeshurun Congregation. Thank you. We just heard from Jonathan Shaver, who chairs the board of our cemetery committee. Our cemetery committee oversees the Avot Chesed Shel Emet Cemetery in New Hope, as well as the B'nai Emet Cemetery in Richfield. At the high holidays, it is our tradition to gather for Kever Avot, to honor those who've died. We often also go to the Avot Yeshurun Cemetery on France for these services, as well as the two Avot Yeshurun congregational cemeteries. This year, as Jonathan explained, we cannot gather because of the pandemic in a way that's safe, but people are welcome to visit graves at this time or any time during the year, and to use this service, which we are presenting, myself and my colleagues, Rabbi Aaron Weininger and Chazan Joanna Dolkin. We begin with the reading by Rabbi Sylvan Kamens, who served B'nai Emet Cemetery one time, and Rabbi Jack Reamer, which has become very, very well regarded. We remember them. At the rising of the sun and at its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the shining sun and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of year and at its end, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now part of us as we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. When we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. At this time, Rabbi Aaron Weininger chants the beautiful setting of the final words of Adon Olam, Biado Afkid Ruchi. Into God's hands we entrust our spirit. Following that, we invite people to take some time to meditate privately on our loved ones, whether buried here at the cemetery where we are visiting or elsewhere, or if we can't get to the cemetery, to keep our loved ones in our hearts.
Biado Afkiruchi Beit Ishan Ve'ahira Bimruchi Keviati Adonai li velo ira Be'ado Afkir Ruchi Be'et Ishan Ve'ahira Bimruchi Keviati Adonai li velo ira. Into your hands I entrust my spirit. When I wake and when I sleep, God is with me. I shall not fear. Soul and body, God's sacred keep.
Hazan Dolkin chants the El Malei Rachamim in memory of Jewish martyrs and in memory of all the departed.
El Malei Rachamim Shochein Bamromim Hametzei Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanafei HaShekhinah B'ma'alot Kedoshim Tehorim Kezor Harakia Mazhirim L'nishmot Kol אלה שהזכרנו היום לברכה, שהלכו לעולמם, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם. ענה בעל רחמים, הסתירם בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם, אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום משכבותיהם, ונאמר אמן. אל מלא רחמים שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים. את נשמות כל אלה שמסרו את נפשם על קידוש השם, אנו בעל רחמים, תסתירם בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, ותצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותם, וינוחו על משכבותם בשלום, ונאמר amen.
Rabbi Weiniger will then recite the El Malei Rachamim prayer in English.
El Malei Rachamim, exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure, to the souls who have gone to their eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life. May they rest in peace, and let us say, Amen.
Rabbi Morris Adler of Detroit writes, "Give me the vision. Shall I cry out in anger, O God, because your gifts are mine but for a while? Shall I be ungrateful for the moments of laughter, the seasons of joy, the days of gladness and festivity? When tears cloud my eyes and darken the world, and my heart is heavy within me, shall I blot from mind the love I have known and in which I have rejoiced? When a fate beyond my understanding takes from me friends and kin whom I have cherished, and leaves me bereft of shining presences that have lit my way through years of companionship and affection, give me the vision of God to see and feel that embedded deep in each of your gifts is a core of eternity, undiminished and bright. An eternity that survives the dread hours of affliction and misery. Those I have loved, though now beyond my view, have given form and quality to my being. They have led me into the wide universe I continue to inhabit, and their presence is more vital to me than their absence. What you give us, O Lord, you take us not away, and bounties once granted shed their radiance evermore. Chazan Dolkin now chants the 23rd Psalm.
Adonai ro'ei lo echsar bino dashay arbitzeini al mei menuchot yenahaleni nafshi shovev yanecheni b'maglei tzedek למען שמו, גם כי אלך בגצל מוות, לא אירא רע, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך, המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי, דשנת ושמן ראשי כוסי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים.
The 23rd Psalm in English.
A Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. Giving me repose in green meadows, leading me beside the still waters to revive my spirit, guiding me on the right path, for that is God's essence. Though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are by my side. Your staff and your rod provide me comfort. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever.
If you're at the cemetery by yourself or at home, or at any time when one might want to recite Kaddish, but there's no minyan, no quorum for prayer, we at this time offer a prayer found in the Siddur, the prayer book of our Masorti movement in Israel, for such an occasion. El Elohei Haruchot, Asher Biadcha Nafshot HaChayim V'Hametim, Pnei Hayom B'Chesed U'Barachamim, El Tefilati L'Zecher Yakiri. Zcharna et Kol HaChesed V'Hatov She'asa B'Olam HaChayim. Tein Lahem Menucha Nechona תחת כנפי השכינה, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, אמרו, Amen. God, Master of souls, in whose hand are the spirits of the living and the dead, turn today in loving kindness and compassion to my prayer in memory of my beloved. Please remember all the loving kindness and the good that they did in the world of the living. Give them perfect rest beneath the wings of Shekhinah, the divine presence, and bind up their soul in the bond of life. May God's great name be exalted and sanctified. May the one who brings peace in the heavens bring peace for us and for all Israel and for all of the inhabitants of the world. And let us say, Amen. We conclude with the words of Rabbi Morris Adler, who writes The Gift of Memory. We thank you, O God of life and love, for the resurrecting gift of memory, which endows your children, fashioned in your image, with the godlike sovereign power to give immortality through love. Praised are you, O God, who enables your children to remember.